Yo, we got a red cup for American Brothers, and of course, it's the best show in the whole of the universe. It's New Sisters to Sports. My name is Adeja Adebowale, flying solo today. It is what it is, and we gotta roll. We gotta do this. I'm sorry to our viewers that we could not be here last weekend, but we are back. I'm back right now. I'm back to show you how it's done and tell you what's up in the world of sport over the course of the weekend. Like I said, it's still New Sisters to Sport. Of course, showing on a band radio scope on our YouTube channel, and of course, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else that you can go. We can think of. We're gonna take a 30-second break right now. We'll be back shortly. Yeah, I'm back right now, and of course, we'll be starting with a whole lot of basketball news today. It's been a terrific week so far, or past couple of weeks for the Lakers. And like I discussed, I said last week, while talking about the Lakers have been on the front. Honestly, they've done pretty well for themselves. The King coming back and shooting all those 29-pointers every night. AD carrying the team officially for the first time in a very long time, carrying the team officially. He had a couple of triple doubles, showed the best player in the league right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo, with the bosses. And for you to see AD do that, it just goes to show you that AD is at his best, just so to speak, is at his best. And of course, we love what he did so far for the Lakers. But it's a two-way horse in the early Lakers team. We know, everybody knows about the struggle of Russ Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, the young boy, Braves, who else on the roster again? All the guys on the roster, we know their struggles. Without AD and LeBron, it's just not the same. And that's just the truth. And of course, we saw AD going out in the 8 minutes of their game, and honestly, I think I'm going to be welcoming Kachi right now. Kachi is there with me. I just started off without Kachi. Kachi is there. The Oracle is back. I think his play has grown a little bit, so gradually we're having the Oracle Kachi back. Kachi, welcome to the show. I thought I was going to be running this one solo, but of course I was just talking about AD and the struggles of AD. We understand it's the germane part of the Lakers team, honestly, and I'm talking about what AD can do. AD showed us against the Milwaukee what the boss release is when he's fit. But the problem is we can't see AD going fit, playing 10 straight games, and that's always the issue. But that's always been the snag with AD. Nobody doubts his talents. Nobody doubts the fact that he's a dominant player. You know what I'm saying? And yes. So the problem now is unofficial reports. According to ESPN and the Lakers, they said AD will be out. He's a questionable player for Lakers.
Yes.
But unconfirmed report was told us that AD was down with a flu-like disease that will keep him out of the season. And of course, I can say it authoritatively that if AD is out, Lakers should forget about anything. They should forget about any form of resurgence. They should forget about even getting to the play-in. That's how bad it is going to be without AD. The other night, we saw what they can produce without LeBron and AD. They were whitewashed by the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
I know the Raptor guys, we are talking about Anobi, Pascal Siakam, Benz. That is a very good team. Yeah. Young, solid team. People don't take notes of the Toronto Raptors, but they are pretty good. Yes, that is the truth.
I agree.
But without AD and LeBron, I think it's game over for the Lakers, if you ask me. Even without AD, just with LeBron, it's game over for them. But without LeBron and AD, it is full game over for them, if you ask me.
Yes, Devon, it is definitely game over, season over for the Lakers if they lose those two players. Of course, LeBron right now, with the way he's playing, is no longer, in my opinion, and I don't care if any LeBron fan gets offended, but he is no longer top 10 in the NBA as it is. However, he
No,
can
no,
still
no way. I'm going to stop you there. Mention your top 10 in the NBA without LeBron. Tell
top 10
me.
without
No,
LeBron.
without LeBron, yeah.
Okay, so Giannis,
Uh-huh.
Luca,
Uh-huh.
Nikola, Steph,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Luca, Nikola, Steph, Tatum, Brown. That's five
Come
I've
on,
given you.
man.
Giannis,
Jalen
Nikola,
Brown?
Luca, Tatum, Brown. Yes.
No way.
Be patient. Be patient, sir. Be patient. Zion. I'm looking now. Hold on. Devin Booker.
Come on, man. Booker has had a
No.
terrible season so far.
I've already given you 7 names. Hold on.
Yeah.
Now the 10 names will come. Devin Booker, a healthy AD, number 8, and this is not in any particular order.
Okay. Where did you put Embiid?
I've not called Joel, number 9, the beard. I've not called KD. I've not called Kyrie. So come on, let's be realistic. Right now, LeBron is not top 10. That's all I mean. He's not top.
I will agree with. I will agree with you because I want you to continue. I don't want us to.
Okay, all right, okay, but my point is, I believe something clicked in AD. I don't know if it's years after 3 years of staying with LeBron, or LeBron giving him the treatment that Dwayne Wade gave him when he told him, look, this franchise is yours. I'm going to be your Robin, a very capable Robin, but I'm giving you the keys to the franchise. Something clicked in AD that made him become very dominant. But we've also known that AD can go 82 games. AD can't even give you 70 games in a season.
No way.
However, we saw the resurgence in the Lakers coinciding with AD's resurgence, or AD's realization that, man, if I do well, especially with Russell accepting his role as the 6th man in that team, that something would change. Now, I totally hope, I sincerely believe that AD is not out for the season. I believe it's they just don't know how to spin it yet. But without beating about the bush or whatever, that team is just made up of 3 people. The first 2, LeBron and AD, and the 6th man, which is Russ. And if they lose the first 2, I'm sorry, no matter how they huff and puff, the Lakers can do it. The West is so stacked. Let me tell you how stacked the West is. The West is so stacked that right now, the defending champions are in the playing spot. That is how stacked the West is.
Yeah.
They won against Celtics yesterday. That result only took them to 12 and 11 right now. That is how stacked the West is. The West is so stacked that the Phoenix Suns are also struggling. So if the Lakers get to lose these 2, I don't think they lose LeBron completely. But even with a fit LeBron,
it's still game over.
Yeah, even with a fit LeBron, it's a playing spot. I know LeBron is motivated. He's motivated by that record he's chasing, but that probably is the only motivation he has right now.
Yo, Kachi, and we can't ignore the facts. I wish you were here last weekend, because I briefly thought this. Last weekend we're not here, 2 weeks ago. The resurgence at the Nets. There was this whole jamboree of canceling Kyrie, you know what I'm saying, and the way they treated Kyrie and the rest affected the franchise. When Kyrie was gone, they had a couple of good games. Right, couple of good games. Like I meant, they played against a weaker team while Kyrie was not around. That kind of masked it. But since Kyrie came back, Kyrie has been a different animal, and that is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I feel no disrespect to the guys, Brooklyn Nets have climbed to the fourth on the table.
Yes.
In the East, given their very bad stats, that is an awesome achievement so far. And I come to think of it, the juggernaut that we thought was going to be that we thought is the missing piece has not even been playing. And I'm talking about your younger brother,
my very good friend.
You know, so it's like something has broken in them. And last night, they played against the Indiana Pacers without KD, without Kyrie, without Ben Simmons, and couple of other guys. Even Seth Curry was not on the team last. You know, because they felt okay. They have another game on Monday. They want to be well prepared, and they want to ensure that this guy does not carry unnecessary injury. That just goes to show you that something is working right now at the net side of New York.
I guess the easiest thing to say is that Steve Nash is no longer there, and they have a competent coach right now. It's probably the easiest explanation you can give for this. Okay. That somebody is doing better with the X and O's than Steve Nash ever did. The second reason is the fact that Kyrie is in a contract here. Right now, as good as he is, he's almost being blacklisted. And if he wants to earn future money in the NBA, he needs to prove that he can
do it. He
can play, without outside noise, without any outside distraction. So there's a lot going on. But the single biggest factor is that Steve Nash is no longer there. Now, whoever the coach is, and I totally apologize, I can't remember his name for now, right now is doing a better job in blocking the external noise and any form of distraction right now. And that is putting these players in the position to play. We've always said it that KD does not want any noise. All he wants to do is play. And if he has a coach who is going to do that for him, to make him play like that, it's going to bode well for the team. Every other person has always embraced their role. We just needed their biggest star to be locked in, which they appear to be right now. They've all realized that this guy is a jalopy. For those who know Nigerians, we know what jalopy is. Ben Simmons is a jalopy. He may work today, he may not work tomorrow. So they are going to take what they get from him, while the bench players or the role players have also embraced their role. So big credit to Joaquin for blocking out that external noise and getting those players focused solely on playing basketball. They are becoming dangerous again in a very, very competitive Eastern Conference.
Exactly, it is, and I really agree with you. I feel flash should be given to players like Cam Thompson. Thompson last night dropping 33 points. Sets when he's called upon, he's doing great things. O'Neal, of course, the way he's defending, the way he's detecting the player as well, it's something that is appreciable. And of course, someone that I don't really like, but the power and the dynamics to the netting that he gives to the netting, that's Clarkson, right?
Yeah.
Claxton, yeah. The dynamics.
He's their only big. He's the only center they have right now. He's their only big right now. But big credit, like I said, big credit to the role players. Accepting your role, because I believe the old noise about Ben Simmons caused a lot of distraction last year, whether we want to accept it or not. Players right now are buying into what they are saying. They are not really worried about. Look, Clarkson is buying. All of these guys are not earning what Ben Simmons is earning without playing. I think they are seeing the importance of playing well and possibly getting a good deal. I think that Ben Simmons contract, the Nets are going to kick themselves in the face to say, This is money we could have shared to the rest of the guys.
It's about to be chase season. You never can tell. Ben might wake up and say,
when is he waking up? Sorry for the non-Yoruba speaking audience that we have, but when will Ben Simmons wake up?
No, he might wake up tomorrow. He might wake up tomorrow and say he doesn't want to play for the Nets again.
He went to Philadelphia. He went to Philadelphia without James Harden, without Joel Embiid. And that was a
bad game. That was a bad game. I saw the entire game. It was a bad game. It was a bad game for them. There was no Tyrese Maxey. There was no Maxey. There was no Maxey. There was no Embiid.
No James Harden.
It was just the PJ Tucker that doesn't even look like a sport person. I'm like, what you guys doing, man? You gotta knock this down, like for real. And, I know, but I love what Kyrie is doing right now. And of course,
big credit to Kyrie right now.
Of course, you know when I like someone, I'm sorry, I could be a little bit biased in pointing out arguments for them.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Charles Barkley a couple of weeks ago, I think 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, after the incident that Klay Thompson had with Devin Booker, and he goes on about saying Klay Thompson should understand he can never be the same player he was before the injury. He should accept blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I had to look up Charles Barkley. I'm like, you don't even have a ring. Come on, man. What the hell are you, man?
You can't use that against Charles anymore. Everybody knows Charles does not have a ring. So don't use that, Debo.
You talk too much. You talk too much. Maybe if it was Shaq, I respect. But realistically, like they say in hip hop, game recognize game, and there are some things that you don't say.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things you don't say. You don't kick a man when he's already down, and I know that's pretty one of your own ideology as well.
Yes, you don't kick a man when he's down. But
that's what he did. That's what he did to Klay. But yesterday, that's what he did to Klay. Klay was struggling. Klay has never had an ejection before in the whole of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Klay is just like Steph.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does not want noise.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a Twitter keyboard warrior. That's not who Klay is. You know, you don't hear so many bad things about Klay. You know, and Klay brought on Game 6 Klay yesterday against the Celtics.
Yeah,
man, 24 points in the first quarter. And is it safe to say or B to Charles Barkley? That's what I want to hear from you.
No, not really. What people fail to realize is that Charles is no longer a player. Charles is now a studio analyst.
Yeah.
And one thing with studio analysts, if we make reference to football and our beloved Roy Keane and Gary Neville, is that they will clickbait you. They will say stuff that not only will you shout when you hear it, you will go on Twitter, you will go on Instagram to talk about it. He's on a network that needs to drive traffic to their page. 100%. Number one. That's 100%. Number one. Number two, he technically is not lying. The fact that he can't remain the same again. It's unfortunate. It's the truth. But
no, it's not the truth.
No. Let me continue. And you can rebut me, or there may be some rebuttal from you later. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. But what makes it easy to bear is that the Golden State Warrior does not need Klay Thompson to be great every day. That's what makes the Golden State Warriors beautiful. It is the performance of the guys of, you look at Kuminga, you look at Jordan Poole. It's that performance that has hidden the fact that Klay is not playing at an all-pro level. So that's what I want, and I believe that's what Charles is trying to say. However, Charles does not know sometimes how to give constructive criticism. He criticizes you, but he just doesn't know how to make that criticism not sound like beef. That's what I mean by constructive criticism. So that's why I believe Charles is right. Klay is no longer consistent, but the way they are structured, the Warriors don't need Klay to be consistent every day. However, Charles also does not know how to talk well. I say this because let's not forget that before Draymond became a studio analyst in that same TNT, and Charles criticized him, Draymond Green lost it until when Draymond had that season-ending injury and became a studio analyst and had to criticize people that he sees day in, day out. He also came out to say he now realizes why sometimes what you say as an analyst shouldn't be taken with full hatred. But I'll leave it at that.
But realistically, I'm just running to the statistics of Klay, and I'm not going to take from the Boston game, because the Boston game was just game 6, and you know what game 6 looks like. So against Utah, dropping 22 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Against the Pacers, 28 points. Against the Chicago Bulls, 26 points. Against the Dallas Mavericks, 5 points. 7 rebounds and 2 assists. And before then, against the Minnesota Timberwolves, it was 21 points. Dropped 20 against the Utah before that, and 18 against the Clippers, and 41 against Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets is like the worst team.
All right. Let me give you this now. Current regular season statistics right now. This season, Klay is averaging 18.9 points in 31 minutes of game time. 18.9 points in 31 minutes of game time, shooting 40.6 from the field goal line. He's shooting less than 40% from the free throw line.
That's bad.
Exactly. He's averaging 3.5 rebounds. He's averaging 2.5 assists and less than 1 steal per game. Is that primetime Klay? In your opinion,
it's not prime time game, but
exactly. So that's what I mean. I'm not criticizing him. I'm only saying that injury.
I'm not even against you. Jack Barkley should just leave. Just get off.
Charles should just learn how to speak like a correct guy.
He should just leave Klay out of. He just leave Klay out of it. Even if he was going to criticize Klay, he was supposed to be after that injection. Like, okay,
I've said it that. Charles does not know how to talk.
Go ahead, please.
And I'm saying so because even when he was an active player, one thing Charles wasn't known for was being diplomatic with his words. Let's not forget that this was a one-time very close friend of Michael Jordan. For right now, for the last 10 years, they have not even been seeing eye to eye. Simply because Charles did something that I should speak to my friend about in private. I went to talk about it on the air. If I had spoken about it with him in private to say, dude, this is what I noticed.
The people around you.
And I'm obligated to talk about it in public because I'm a studio analyst. Don't take it personal. That's why I'm telling you first. Do you understand? Charles doesn't have that diplomacy
but realistically, it wasn't even supposed to say it. For crying out loud, he was talking about the financial.
It was the truth. No, he was talking about the fact that the Charlotte Hornets ownership are not doing things right. The fact that since MJ has been there,
I watched the podcast, and it was like he told MJ that the financial advisors were bad.
Yes. And it's the truth.
That the people he surround himself
with are poor. Exactly. Is it the truth? Is it the truth or is it a lie? It's the truth. It's just how we put it.
Exactly. If it's a close friend to
you don't throw that in the air.
We see things. Honestly, Kachi. And I would take you back to a couple of, I think 2 weeks ago, it was last week, when LeBron came out after the game. I've forgotten the particular game. I think it was against the Pacers. I'm not sure. And they were asking him post-match conference questions. And I was like, why are you guys not talking about this racist guy?
Jerry Jones. Yeah, the Cowboy, Jerry Jones.
Exactly. But if it's about Kyrie, you guys feel like, okay, it's time. You know, and after LeBron did that, LeBron stood up and he never take any question again. And that goes to show you how LeBron rates his brother, Kyrie. He's a Celtic brother. So if you have that kind of relationship with someone, come on, man, there's a way to go about it.
That is all I'm saying.
I want tomorrow now go on a show, maybe I become international, for instance, and criticize you. Doesn't make sense
without having a back end discussion with me.
Exactly.
And that is all I'm saying. We are saying the same thing about our big man Chuck.
It's not my big man. You should go and sit down. I don't like him.
Chuck. No, I love Chuck. Chuck is media heaven. When you listen to Chuck, you get entertained. However, our entertainment has led to a lot of strange relationship. Someone mentioned it that Chuck right now is currently not on speaking terms with close to 50 former NBA players simply because of how he criticizes them. But Chuck knows this is where he eats from. So he's going to always be a clickbait. Leave Shaq alone. A lot of people don't step to Shaq because number one, Shaq, where they are earning from, Shaq probably owns it. So nobody wants to go there. Number two, Shaq is bigger than anybody's grandfather in terms of size. So you want to be careful how you step up to Shaq. Everybody knows Chuck has a hip replacement. He can't walk where he can't even run. So if you push him, Chuck will fall. But that's on a lighter note. Chuck obviously needs to learn, have some emotional intelligence, and learn how to exactly. But it's not as if he's lying. That's really all I'm saying. I just read out Klay statistics to you.
Yeah, 100%.
Klay is not exactly. So that's how I see it.
Clay's not who he used to be, but I like the fact
that. But
it
doesn't need to be that. That's the beauty. It's almost like I'm trying to bring it into football.
But can you pull up the start of Steph so far this season?
Okay, I'm going to give you.
I just think it's not going to be so amazing. I don't want us to waste so much time, but I feel even Steph is not going to be amazing so far because
it's amazing. Listen, in 35 minutes, 34.9 minutes on the floor, Steph is averaging 30 points per game. He's averaging 50.2% from the field goal. He's averaging 43.6 click on the 3-point line. He's averaging 6.6 rebound, 7 assists, and 1 steal a game. That is almost twice what Klay Thompson is doing. If not twice what Klay Thompson is doing.
Don't worry, we'll go behind backstage because I don't want to waste time. I'll pull up the stats for the whole of the GS.
This is this season, not career start. Just this season.
No, not career start. No, I'm just talking about this season. I'm probably sure, even with the bad whatever situation Klay is. Klay probably will be number 3 in that team. Probably.
Of course, Klay will probably be the 3rd best. You can argue that maybe 4th best, but I'm sure it's between the 3rd or 4th.
3rd and 4th.
The second will probably be Jordan Poole.
Yeah, of course. Still staying on the Golden State Warrior. There was this podcast, Draymond Green's podcast during the week, and I posted it on our social media handle, and Draymond Green was like, okay, talking about the best of all time. I know we always want to share from it, and it's a relative law. Everybody deserves their own opinion and all.
Yeah,
but there was a particular reason why he chose LJ over MJ. He said MJ did not play against the best assembled.
Did not beat the best.
Sorry. Yeah, he did not play against or beat the best assembled team in the history of NBA.
Yes.
Right? While LJ had to do that over and over and over again. He lost some, he won some. Steph came out to say he has never seen anyone play like LJ and Kyrie did after they were 3-1 up against them at the NBA Finals. Yes. You know. So do you agree with what I know? Everything is about relativism. I don't know where you stand between LJ and MJ, but do you agree with what Draymond Green said about playing against the best assembled team in the history of NBA?
I almost kissed Draymond Green through my phone when he said that. And don't get me wrong, I started watching basketball because of Michael Jordan. I
Really?
I can remember I was preparing to write my WAEC. Is it why? No, my jam examination in 1997. 97? No, 1990. I don't remember when I wrote jam again. 1997, I believe, late 97. Jam used to be, yeah. I can't remember when they do UME, UTME. However,
Yeah.
but it was in 1997 when they were showing Space Jam on the TV.
Oh yeah.
It was the day of my jam examination. I'm not going to kid you. I'm not going to kid you, ladies and gentlemen. I went late. I went almost late to my jam exam simply because I was watching Space Jam. It was the first time we were going to see it on Nigerian TV. We didn't have the cinemas like we have now, so obviously it was a big deal for me. My very first basketball throwback jersey was a Chicago Bull number 23. I wore that jersey until the number spilled off it. So I'm not saying this from a place of hate. I also watched the Last Dance documentary. I watched some of the game 6. I watched the flu game. We couldn't watch it live then, but we used to get a delayed broadcast of the game. I watched it. I probably didn't know all the statistics or whatever, but I knew they said MJ had fever. I'm saying all this to let our listeners know that I am not saying this from a place of beef or a place of being biased, but as objectively as I can, MJ, when he had the same caliber of players LeBron had, never made it out of the first round of the playoffs. He never made it out of the first. He personally posted big numbers. 50 against the Celtics, 61 against the Celtics, 50 against the Los Angeles Lakers with Magic Johnson. But he never made it out of the first round of the playoffs. LeBron James, in year 1, playing with the likes of Onyekachi and Debo Wale, took the Cleveland Cavaliers to an NBA final. Even though they were swept by the eventual champions San Antonio Spurs, he did that. Even when he lost 2 of his best players in Kevin Love and Kyrie in 2017, he still took 2 games off the Golden State Warriors that had KD, Draymond, Klay, Steph, Andre Iguodala. Name anyone you want to name. He still took 2 games. All this, even when the Warriors won 73 games, he still beat that team.
Yeah.
That should end the story. I know we're in a generation where we count the blinks, and it is the blink counting that is making people go, well, MJ won 6 out of 6. LeBron went to 10 finals, he only has 4. Do you know what it takes to get to a finals? We just talked about the great Chuck. We're just talking about Charles Barkley now. Charles only
10 straight finals.
10 straight finals, ladies and gentlemen. So I almost kissed Draymond through the phone because everybody knows how heated the battle between Draymond Green and LeBron James were during all those the championship parts. These are very close friends and business partners. But why I like them is on the courts, they leave friendship and business partnership to the side, and they give their best. They even throw themselves with the t-shirts they made. Because I remember when the Warriors won in 2017, the Cleveland Arena is called the Quicken Loans Arena.
Okay.
Draymond Green made a t-shirt that said Quickie. Instead of Quicken Loans, he said because they beat them, he called it Quickie. And when LeBron James also won in 2016, coming from 3-1 down, he wore a t-shirt that said Ultimate Warrior. Of course, we know it's a dig at these people. So you should understand that Draymond was being objective. His objectivity was not in doubt. I know recency bias will say it's because LeBron James, and you cannot compare eras. I totally get it. You can't compare eras. But LeBron came into the league in 2003, and by 2005, he definitely was the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
And you are 20 years later, you are arguing with me now on whether he is still top 10 in year 20. If that doesn't say enough about his greatness, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else we need to
that's crazy. We'll go on a quick break right now, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the World Cup, the buffers of Lionel Messi, the fact that the referee should have given Bruno Paredes a red card. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.